Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how I made a 16% return on two trades, and both of them were short trades. Okay, so this is the first trade right here. I'll explain to you guys in a second. And then this was the second trade, about 6.7% profit. Okay, so the first trade was, I think, a little bit better in terms of risk to reward. This was a one to close to 1 to 6 risk to reward, which means for every $1 I was making $6 back. Okay, so ended up with a 10% profit, and the only reason why I decided to close was uh, due to the 4 hour time frame. I thought that we were just coming close to the moving average, and I decided to close about 10% profit. If I had held, that trade would have turned possibly the biggest trade of the year, but there's no regrets. I still ended up the day and the week in profit. Okay, so let me break it down to you guys. Okay, so I've already talked about this sell zone for a while. Okay, so I've already been trading this sell zone for quite some time, and then there's just one thing that we all need in trading, which is patience. Okay, sometimes you only need 1 or 2 trades for the whole month, but you have to wait for that whole month for those opportunities. Okay, so I have multiple trades here. Okay. How do I do this? How do I stay on the drawing here, here, and then here? So we have about 4 touches on the same zone. Okay, now the reason why I took this sell was basically we're approaching this area, and then if you look closely, I was just waiting for the right moment for us to come and then hit this area. Okay, so the moment that we hit this area, we were going like this candle was going on a high, and I decided to enter. I said, okay, so I have basically was I had a bigger stop loss in case we were basically gonna play around in this area. What could happen was we could have stayed right here for some time and it ended up deciding to go down or go up. So I was just I was just waiting for the right moment. I I I took 2 entries. Let me just double check. I took 2 entries on this trade, and yes, one was 35. The other one was, I think, lower. It's 34, 28, 48. This is the second entry, but even though this is still, and then the take profit 34, 28, 34, 11. So this is the second trade is still a, yeah, 1 to 1, and the others are 1 to 6. So not the best second entry, but both of these were a total of 10%. Okay, so I have the sell area as a confirmation. I have for lower time frames, I have this resistance right here. There's multiple touches on the same area, so there's 2 confirmations. I don't have a moving average, but I just, if I don't have a moving average, I would just act as basically I would focus more on the risk management, and instead of that more of those confirmations like moving average, trend, and something like that. So risk management was on point. So already have the sell area of interest, the resistance, and then the risk management was pretty good as well. So I decided to enter, and then I decided to close right around when we are approaching the moving average right here for that 10% profit. Okay, so not basically the trade that I have more confirmations, but pretty good, just area of interest trade, and I was already fine with it. Okay, so this is my current trade right now, about 7.5 points for stop loss, and a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Now for the US 30 trade, it was basically the same thing. So both of these trades were more of emotional and more of logic trades, which means that price was overbought, was on a basically high area, and I decided to enter. Risk to reward was fine, and then ended up in profit. Okay, so this is when market opened. So we just opened Sunday. We opened at Sunday 6 p.m. We opened, we were playing around a little bit, and then I thought to myself, we have a huge gap, right? So this is a huge gap from here to here. What happens most of the time, especially with US 30 or like stock related assets, is once we have a gap like that, we have to close the gap. So I decided to enter. My initial stop loss was about 100 points, which was leading me to basically a 1 to 1, 1 to 2. If we had, if we had a 1 to 2 here, I don't think we would have closed. Yeah, we wouldn't have closed yet. So I closed at about 130. Get this back. 134 points. So instead of just having a 100-point stop loss, I decided to cut down to 70 points for that stop loss. Okay, so it was still above this basically highest point in the market, and then again this totaled me about 6.7% profit as well. So we kind of closed the gap, and then right now there's basically two options that I think. Either we're gonna uh, reverse and then keep going up, or break and retest this area for a sell, and then eventually we'll have to come down to this area right over here. I'll have to extend this something like this. All right, so that would be probably the next move, or we do the opposite, which is here to then move up something like this. So retest and then move higher, which I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I already ended up the day and already started the week off in profit. Okay, so this is my current trade right here, basically at break even. I'm hoping that I'll just give you guys the next possible trade. This is basically a support right here that I'm holding on to, and then stop loss is below this level of support. So when the price is right here trading, I want that that price action to be trading above this area and not basically break below this previous low right here, and then possibly move higher. And then my take profit is above this previous high over here, so we have to break this previous high and then create new highs. So if we continue to go higher like this, if we break this high, it would look something like this on an uptrend. Okay, so this is it, guys. This is my 2.5. This will count as a half trade. So 2 trades right here, and then another trade on US 30 that netted me about 16% return. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I have some links down below. Make sure you guys click them and subscribe for more.